Hello, this is Enrique766. I'm going to be walking you through the scale rig today. It's pretty basic. What we have here is just a square block for the first floor and the second floor. There's a car for reference, and there's also a small character outline in there. That was actually Henry's outline for the Crosswalk project. And you can see we have the door and the window sizes in there. When you're building these buildings, you want to make sure that you don't exceed the height of the floor or the windows or the door. The windows, you can maybe go a little bit smaller or lower. Those are a little bit more flexible. You really do not want to exceed the door height and then the floor. The line that's making up the floor of the second floor is where the actual floor is. You would have to picture that there's going to be some kind of gap in there. The reason this is like this is so when we build these tall buildings and you put them next to each other, the stories are all going to be pretty much the same, where you have first story, second story, third, fourth, and so on. That way, when you build your building and we stick it next to somebody else's, all the windows are going to look actually like they should, where they're actually going to be even with the one next to it. You generally, when I give these out, I'll give you instructions as to how big I want them. And this is a pretty good example here, where we have 2, 4, and this is actually 6 stories high. It's going to be 2 scale rigs wide and 2 scale rigs deep. So we would actually call this a 2 by 2 by 6, where your average scale rig is actually going to be a 1 by 1 by 2, meaning 2 stories high, and then it's 1 deep and 1 wide. Now, it's very important to not exceed the limits or the bounds of the scale rig, because we have a set place that they're going to be, so you don't want to go outside of that bounds, but you're free to work anywhere inside that bounds. Now, something like this is actually going to a 2 by 2 by 2. If you were building something, say like a fast food restaurant or something, you'd have basically permission to go ahead and use the whole area, whereas maybe half of it's going to be your actual building, and then you can use this other half on this side for your parking lot, any props for cars or signs or anything like that. Okay, I hope that pretty much explains to you what a scale rig is and what it does. I'm gonna stop this and move on to